Here Now Live, number 34. Welcome all to the chat. Welcome all to Here Now Live. My name is Morcie. I'm a coach. I hear some kids playing outside. I'm a coach, a teacher, a consultant, a mentor. All here to remind you of the miracle of the present moment. All here to remind you of this very moment, the here and the now, the present moment. It's everything that's happening minus your thoughts about it, your critiques, judgments, criticisms. A reminder to step out of the limits and the confines of the mind and choose to be aware. And in that space, you recognize true joy, true fulfillment. Each and every day, you put one foot in front of the other, grateful for being alive, for simply being here. Welcome all, welcome everyone to Here Now Live, number 34. I'm incredibly grateful to be here and to be a facilitator of this space. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, light a candle, get comfy. It's all a vibe. Peace, love, wholeness. Hello, Tamang. Hello, sis. How are you doing? Much love. I'm doing well. Grateful to be here once again in this space, as always. An incredible stabilizing force. How are you doing? Grateful to see you here in the chat. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. See Queen in the background. She's just chilling. Welcome. Here Now Live. Much love, Jason. Good to see you back once again. See Here Now Nomads in the building. Aaron Roma, much love to you. Thank you for being here once again. Peace and love to the chat. Peace and love to the chat. I'm so grateful to see your names here every week, coming back, showing me and revealing the power of the space, the consciousness of the space, the groundedness of the space. I'm switching out the tongue drum. We shall see her in our live guided meditation in the end. And we're bringing in the sound bowl. Much love to the sound bowl. How's everyone feeling today? How's everyone feeling today? I got my cup of tea right here, iced tea. I mistakenly left my other cup in the freezer. I did it for a quick chill and forgot it was there. Grateful for this. Delicious, delicious, delicious. You gotta say it 3 times, right? If you don't say it 3 times, it's not that delicious. It's not just delicious. It's delicious, delicious, delicious. It's nice to take just a little bit of space every now and then. A pause here and there. A moment to just stop. Bring awareness to where you are, what you're doing. Doesn't matter what you're doing. It could be a mundane task. It could be in a new space. It's nice to invite that in, right? An acknowledgement of the wholeness of the moment, the fullness of the moment, just for a second. Today is a powerful topic, one that comes up often, and I figured, hey, let's dive into it a little bit more. Let's really talk about overstimulation and all the ways that it manifests and affects our day-to-day. Because I've been noticing how what I feel overstimulation from, and how when I reduce my time with it, I feel more present, grounded in the moment, not so in my head, not in comparison, not in this urgent state of consciousness where there's all these thoughts flowing through the mental field about hurry up, you're not there quick enough, whatever there is, whatever that means. It's those moments when we can invite in space that we find that overstimulation is not anything to fear, right? Any emotion we speak about here, shame, overstimulation, those two have been pretty big in the past. None of them are ever anything to fear. No emotion is. It's the intention of this space is to assist you in knowing that, in remembering that, right? This space, it's all a pointer. Everything I share is a pointer to the present moment. The present moment is this moment right here. It's this moment, this exact moment. It doesn't matter when you watch this, whether it's now live, it's recording, it doesn't matter. The present moment is this moment. This moment without your thoughts about it, right? Your critiques and judgments, what it should be, what it shouldn't be, what's good, what's bad. The present moment is everything minus that. This moment as a whole, the wholeness of the moment, where everything is what it is. Here-ness, now-ness, wholeness. And when we invite this wholeness into our day-to-day, it becomes our state of consciousness, where we recognize that we don't need to worry as much as we worry. We don't need to worry at all. Where we recognize we don't need to rush. There's nowhere we need to be other than where we are right now in this moment, right? Rushing as in, that mental. Oh, I haven't achieved this, I haven't done that, or so-and-so is doing more, this and that. The comparison, we're human. I find that when we're most honest with ourselves in the moment, as honest as we can be, release comes with so much ease. And a recognition that you're not the only one going through these certain conflicting emotions or heavy emotions. Although your experience may be unique and your emotions are indeed valid, simultaneously, it's nice to be in connectedness with others and knowing that you're not alone. You're not the only one experiencing what you're experiencing. And there's someone who has transcended a similar situation to you, who's transcended what you're going through, whether it's emotions, a certain emotion, a thought, a narrative. When we can take a step back to be, we step out of that space of where we once were, right? So when I say this, I mean the pause. It allows us to step out of that overstimulating space. Overstimulating. Too many thoughts within the mind. Too much new information. Not enough space to absorb and integrate. So when we invite in space, we can be more discerning, express ourselves authentically, and not get so caught up, especially in, just not get so caught up in the mind, right? Like I say here, everything here is a pointer. This moment is a pointer. When you think here, now, live, present moment awareness, here-ness, nowness, wholeness, observe the mind, or just notice. Just notice. Just notice. Tamang, always struggle with this. No worries, Tamang. You're in the right space. And you're doing a great job. I want to remind you all to thank yourselves, all right? Sometimes we think we're struggling, but we're actually doing exactly what we need to do. The fact that you're putting one foot in front of the other to notice it, recognize it, accept it, that is honestly enough, because often when we are aware enough, when we expand our awareness enough, the shift comes naturally. The transformation is natural. It's an easy decision. That's what happens when you're in a state of flow. It doesn't necessarily have to be a certain activity. It could be just your day-to-day. You're in flow. And that is that harmony and agreement with your mind and body. And you'll find yourself in flow often, right? When you're in recognition of the overstimulation. And hey, I'm going to take a step back. I choose to disconnect to reconnect. Disconnect to reconnect. Thank yourselves. Thank yourselves for showing up today, for getting out of bed, the simplicity of getting out of bed and starting your day. It doesn't matter what you did or didn't accomplish. You got up today. In fact, you're here. You're here on Here Now Live. Making that conscious decision to surround yourself in an environment that encourages you to be your best self, to step out of the limits of the mind, to simply be, experience the joy of being. You're in the right space, right time. Bada bing, bada boom. Much love. Adrian, good to see you in the chat. Welcome. Here Now Live 34. We're going strong. Much love. How are you feeling? The sound bell, all right? So we're diving into the topic of overstimulation, and I can share with all of you that space is honestly the ultimate antidote, right, to overstimulation, right? Overstimulation, the mind there's so much going on, an influx of sensory processing, thoughts going through the mental field. Sometimes in those moments, we may not recognize that there is enough space. There's enough space amongst the chaos. There's space, even though it might seem like there's not. There's space. Sometimes it might take putting a phone away or stepping out of a crowded area just to, physically. When I say physically, just physically get some more space, right? And then within, you could find more space. It's helpful, right? All of this it's a practice until it's not a practice, right? But we choose to invite it in as often as we can. So in this live, there are ample opportunities to recognize space, stillness, silence, spaciousness. There are ample opportunities to be still, to be silent, to be spacious. And I invite you to join me in taking in that moment. We're going to be speaking and using quite a bit of our mind, intellect, and chatting. And simultaneously, we shall balance it out. Enjoy the entire flow of life through the space. So even as I speak, choose to be there with the space. Notice when the mind may ask, what's coming next? What's the next idea? What's the next thought? Notice when the mind says, why is she just sitting there? It's nice to notice those things. Just to notice. Because it's just the voice, It's just the voice. That's it. Freedom, true freedom, is knowing that you are not your thoughts, that you are beyond thought. When you recognize that, even in the slightest, you recognize that freedom. Each and every day you live in that state of consciousness, right? Doesn't matter. I would say, when I say each and every day you live in that state of consciousness, it's a matter of honoring your current state of consciousness, alrighty? It's not much of, hey, I think I'm supposed to be here. This is what it's supposed to mean to observe your thought, or not. You are not your thoughts, right? It's actually choosing to acknowledge and accept everything you are right now. Your current state of consciousness, your current state of health, your current state of everything, your current state of your life situation, alrighty? That's what self-acceptance is. That's what that's what invites more present within our lives, is accepting who you are fully each day you show up, right? This makes you more chill, it makes you more relaxed. I accept myself fully no matter what. We can always have more. Some may say, hey, I want to be healthier. I'd like to lose weight. I have these body goals, fitness goals. There's always more of that. You can go to the gym. You can shift and change your body. That's all a part of this experience of being in the physical. More is always available. Without a doubt, more is always available. It's one of those moments where we can acknowledge those two dimensions of life. The dimension of life where we can build and create and it never stops. Honestly, it just gets better and better. And simultaneously, we recognize the wholeness of who we are. The I am, our essence, grounded in our essence, grounded in the awareness of the true self. And when we can have that balance, we see flow, right? Engagement plus relaxation. Engagement plus relaxation. It's a balance of that. That's what flow is. It's both. So cheers to the Here Now Live community. Here Now Live number 34. I'm so grateful for the space. I'm grateful for the chat. Welcome. Christian, feeling sort of moody throughout the day, but also present. So it kind of feels like it runs in between at times. I'm aware it's unconscious programming. I'm letting go, but I'm excited for the change. Cheers to you, Christian. You bring up an incredible point in your self-awareness, right? We tend to go in between at times. There are moments when we feel a bit moody. Right? There are moments when our mind and our state of consciousness, right, kind of swapping between. I would say they're swapping. There are moments when I could say for myself where I am present, and then I might get sucked into the mind, or I might get consumed in thought for a little, and I step back, in and out. The awareness of present moment is a practice until it's not. And I can tell you from my perspective in my current spiritual awakening process that it's beautiful, it's fulfilling, it is true joy, and I'm so grateful to be here sharing with each of you every day the transformation and how it is. There is no end. We're always awakening. And when it comes to present moment awareness, you know that you already are. You're safe. You're supported. Here-ness, now-ness, wholeness. Adrian, I'm thinking of writing down that one trigger that annoys me. If that's what you feel called to do, follow that. I actually find that is journaling or automatic writing or whatever it is. That's an example, Adrian, of honoring what arises in the moment, right? The trigger is good. Thank your triggers. Hell yeah to triggers. They tell us exactly what we need to know. They are sharing with us what we need to see as a whole so that there's no resistance, so that we can choose to understand that trigger rather than feel resistance towards it. And it feels a lot more peaceful, right? It's all about getting to know the self. No war within, right? No war within, right? Cheers to that. Edward Smith, good to see you once again. Welcome to the chat. Welcome back. Welcome back. Much love. I am Shibi. Halito. Wholeness and power to everyone. Peace to you, Morcie. Much love. I am Shibi. Grateful to see you here in the chat once again. We're going strong to the Here Now community. We are going strong. Adrian, and then burn the paper. That is a great way of letting go, right? that's actually like you having a mini ceremony, like a little ritual, right? Writing it down and burning it, super common. I love doing that. I actually would go and burn my entire journals, to be honest, to let go. So Adrian, if you feel called to do that, honor that moment, right? Honor that moment, right? Life is a ceremony. We're always moving. We're always flowing. And I want to remind you all of this too, as we dive into the topic of overstimulation and how it could impede our experience of true peace and joy, true fulfillment. Healing never stops, y'all. I saw this clip the other day, and it was a girl, and she was just mentioning how, she feels like she's always healing something. And ultimately, that's true. That's why we must be aware of the two dimensions of self, right? Healing, the need to heal ultimately comes from the illusion of separation. So maybe when I say, actually, you know what? I'm just going to say I'm diving into understanding that, and as a teacher, sharing that with y'all, because there's been so many enlightening moments with myself where I've recognized that truly, y'all, there's nothing we need to yearn for, even though we do. It's all right. If it's happening, good. I just want to make sure of that. But in truth, y'all, there's nothing we need to yearn for. If there is an idea that arises in your mind and you find it to be something you'd like to live out and experience in this world of form, it's already yours. It's all the resistance throughout the day that gets in the way, right? It's one of those things, like, just do it. But what's stopping us from just doing it? What's stopping us from doing what we said we'd do, right? Ultimately, when it comes to that healing is necessary due to the illusion of separation. But when we remind ourselves that we are not separate, we are not alone, when we expand our awareness and become aware of the interconnectedness of all aspects of life, the idea of healing is not necessary. It's just actually being. You recognize that life is a series of just things that happen. And it's the mind that ultimately says, oh, this is good, this is bad, oh, this is slowing me down, oh man, I need to heal from this and that. See, the more we embody that, there's so much of an ease. Like, even when triggers do arise, you just allow them to arise. There's no shame there. There's no judgment. It's an honoring of your current state of consciousness, and you keep it moving. Where so much of those little unnecessary sufferings come from are those attachments to something. A trigger arises, and we're like, and then we think it's a part of us. We're like, oh, am I a bad person for feeling this way or thinking this way? Am I less conscious? Am I more or less conscious because of this? There begins to be so much judgment, and it creates more and more mind, right? Too much mind activity. It creates overstimulation within the mind. And so when we expand our awareness around how present moment awareness allows us to simply be, then we could see that a clearer picture, expanded wholeness. Once again, wholeness, awareness, right? Like, you guys, you hear the same words, right? That's honestly on purpose. I do that for myself too. You continuously hear wholeness. You speak to someone, wholeness, 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 right? It becomes those words, they're pointers. Anything can be a pointer to the present moment, right? Anything, honestly. But continuously, when we do it, it's there's a joy in it. It's not I have to do it. I have to meditate. It's like there is so much peace and reward in stillness. So much peace and reward in silence and spaciousness. And when we can enjoy that, it's easier to enjoy those moments when we're actively engaging in the world and life, whatever we're doing. It's easier for us to each and every day continue going and moving on without a mental breakdown, without moodiness. You are emotionally stable, and it's so rewarding in a place of emotional stability. When I think emotional stability, I mean non-reactivity towards emotions that arise. Space to just observe them. And if in the moment you feel the need to express it, to cry it out, maybe you have to scream and let it go, you release it and you move on. Once again, the suffering comes from the attachment to the emotion. Moment-to-moment awareness, allowing ourselves to be in each moment, allows us to be more authentic beings, living fully in the moment, wholly in the moment, honoring ourselves and honoring those around us. Connectedness, all right? Much love. Brent Simon, thanks for creating and welcoming us to a space of healing, peace, and harmony. Brent Simon, much love to you. Thank you for this message, and thank you for being here. Here Now Live, number 34. Peace and love to the chat. Let's take this moment for a one conscious breath meditation. Y'all know the deal, right? A meditation can be as simple as one conscious breath. Even as simple as a pause. That one pause. Pause before you respond in a conversation. A pause before your next sentence or your next word. That in and of itself is a meditation. A meditation doesn't necessarily have to be something you do. Look at my chunky bear. It doesn't necessarily have to be something you do. It's your state of being. In a meditative state. To be in a meditative state. So join me in this one conscious breath meditation. All right. Take one conscious breath in. One conscious breath out. Bring your awareness to your heart center. And be here. Thank you all for joining me. That one conscious breath meditation. It's just nice. It's like a nice medicine throughout the day. You can think of it that way. I am Shibi. To truly experience life, we must let go of the mind's constant activity and just be present in the moment, experiencing everything for what it truly is. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Some may say, Yeah, that sounds nice. But yeah, how can I do that? What would that look like for me? Oh. 1 second. We got a lot going on here. Okay. 1 second. There we go. Alrighty. Some may say, yeah, like, what does that look like, you know? I find that the more that I share, you know, I realize that ultimately, you know, I mean, this might have been obvious, but everything I'm sharing is really how would I say it, a testament to how being aware of the present moment can improve your state of being. And simultaneously, I recognize that this shift in awareness, it's often subtle. It's actually always there. Let's get that out, right? To truly experience life, you must let go of the mind's constant activity, right? Ultimately, letting go of the mind's constant activity is just simply noticing and being aware, right? So if you choose to notice and be aware right now, no matter the intensity or frequency of the overstimulation, right? Talking about overstimulation today, mind activity, things like that. You are expanding your present moment awareness. The way you treat this moment is a mirror of how you'll treat any other moment. So if you treat this moment and you choose presence now, then you start to fully see life as it is. And that's how I could say it in a way of allowing you to understand it for yourself. Once again, these are pointers. They're pointers to the present moment, and ultimately, we'll all experience ultimately the same thing, right? Because we're tapping into the present moment. But the way we express it, that individual aspect of us, it'll all be different and unique. But truly, that choice to be present now. Thank you for sharing that. And Brent Simon, it's a reminder to the self, right? Cheers to that. A reminder to return to the self. All right, here we go. The present moment is a narrow gateway that only one activity can enter at a time. Being present in the moment is a beautiful and intense experience that is impenetrable by any thought. Thank you for sharing. I am Shibi. Brent Simon. It's like making the right choices becomes habitual. Mm-hmm. That word habitual, the word habitual, right? So that is when that habitual, when I think habitual, I think grounded. You're grounded. You're doing something each and every day. It's a habit that allows you to basically continue, to keep it short, right? It creates this space for you to be. And I say this in that when it comes to overstimulation, it can be easy to step out of habit. It can be easy to compare, whether it's yourself to someone else, yourself to the past, yourself to the future idea of a self, but a comparison, right? When we choose to have certain habits and we're doing them, it can be quite easy. It helps us to bring us back to the present moment. And I give an example for me. I find that these habitual activities that I do throughout the week, right? Just little things. There's so many things, but ultimately yoga is huge. Going to yoga every day. Here Now Live. That's another aspect of life, of something that I do that helps me stay grounded, right? I share with y'all, doing nothing consciously is my time and space to be directly with source, right? So doing those consistently, even when the mind, right, we start to kind of flow out. Like I'm thinking right now, there's like a balloon. A vision in my mind is a balloon flowing in the air. We kind of get high and we lose sight of grounding. And in that space of highness, it's just a whole bunch of ideas, whole bunch of worries and thoughts, just all this stuff. Not enough groundedness, just too much mind, right? It's those consistent habits that we can allow ourselves to sit back in and rest in. And it gives the mind that sense of home, so that we can relax and let go of those past thoughts, right? If that makes sense. What I'm kind of sharing is basically an experiences that I have where I notice where the mind will just get caught on an idea, and I found that my own day-to-day habits have truly helped me with that. Christian, for sure. On understand about parallel realities. Sure, I'll get to that. And Brent, call me Sinos. All right, you got it. Defining overstimulation. Overstimulation. I wanted to define it, and I also want to compare it, right? Tonight's topic is all about, the question is, all right, is overstimulation keeping you from feeling true joy and fulfillment? I know for myself, there has been moments where I have noticed how overstimulation has interrupted it's where my awareness was, how overstimulation, too much, right? Too much within the mind has interrupted the flow. The flow. Keep it simple. Overstimulation refers to a state where a person's senses or cognitive abilities are overwhelmed by too much sensory input, information, or activity. This can happen in various situations, such as a crowded or noisy environment, when exposed to bright lights, or when multitasking excessively, all right? So it's essentially, right, we're overwhelmed. Too much sensory input, information, and activity, all right? That is overstimulation. We've had a couple conversations on here about overstimulation and how social media plays a part in that, of course, right? There's so much going on online, you know? Information overload. Once again, more. More will always be here. We can always find out more information. We can always gain more knowledge. More will always be here. And often, what's very common in this generation, right, is that overstimulation when it comes to consuming content or just being online, right? I too have experienced that, of course, right? That's why I'm here. I'm speaking on it. Let me know in the chat. I want to hear from y'all. What are some things that you find you're overstimulated by, that overstimulate you? What situations? Are you in a certain place? Are you doing something? What things tend to overstimulate you, right? Where you are feeling overwhelmed by too much sensory input, information, or activity. I created a questionnaire in the community page asking the community, everyone who follows this channel, or I guess at least runs into the question, how often do you feel stimulated in your day-to-day? And most people said often, right? Let me double check. As of right now, all right? Just gonna check the community channel. "44 votes. 39% said very often. How often do you feel overstimulated in your daily life?" So this shows me at the very least to those that I'm speaking to, overstimulation is a factor within our day-to-day that impedes on our state of joy and fulfillment, right? Large and loud environments, that is definitely one. When there's so much going on, large and loud environments, right? Thank you for sharing, Jason. So we've got environmental factors, right? Like loud noises, bright lights, strong smells, crowded places. That is an example of overstimulation. Alrighty. Technology, work-related stress, right? When we're multitasking, trying to meet tight deadlines. What? I have to say that has been something for myself, where I'm feeling that overstimulation, that meeting certain deadlines, right? Managing a heavy workload can lead to cognitive overload, making it difficult to concentrate, right? That's another one. If ever you felt a sense of resistance, you felt you needed to meet certain deadlines, that's overstimulation, right? Overstimulation ultimately causes those feelings of stress, overwhelm, those feelings of anxiety. They arise, right? Sensory, mental health conditions. Alrighty. Pretty much. Overstimulation. So I like to ask the chat here, when you find yourself in a state of overstimulation, being overstimulated, what do you do? What do you do? What comes to mind? What do you do? Let me know in the chat. I shared before, for me, it's a couple things, right? I continue to honor my day-to-day activities, just like, once again, practicing yoga. Here Now Live, continuously honoring it, right? It's not to say, it's not a matter of, as we speak about this, it's not a matter of trying to, I would say this, trying to avoid it, right? Avoidance in general, when it comes to this, that's not the energy, right? It's more of being aware of your current state of consciousness and prioritizing your current state of consciousness. So, for example, if you find yourself being overstimulated from social media, it doesn't mean you have to completely cut it off. If that's not fully what you need in the moment, you can just choose to say, okay, I'm honoring my body. I'm stepping in. I'm bringing in some space, honoring myself, my mind, and my body. Right now, I've had enough. I'm going to turn the phone off, right? You find that you start, when you're becoming aware of it, is also that connectedness to your body and your mind. When we're overstimulated, right? Specifically when scrolling or social media, it's because there's not enough space. I encourage to try out a moment, right? One of those moments, this is basically what I do. When I know that I'm watching something and I'm like, oh, I want to watch this and that. Oh my gosh, this is like good information. This is good stuff. In between, I will set the intention to pause, whether it's a 60 seconds of stillness, whatever it is. It's good to allow yourself, as you're taking in information, to come back and be still. And then you take in the information, you come back and be still. And often in those moments of stillness, you're being, and it's providing enough space between, awareness and the mind, awareness and these thoughts, so that you don't feel like, oh, I need to go watch the next one, or this is really important, I need to watch it now. It actually helps you prioritize, like what's actually important, right? Watching the fifth short, the sixth short, or kind of stopping for a second and actually asking yourself, is this actually where I would like to spend my awareness right now? If it is, then it is. Keep it scrolling and enjoy, right? No shame. Keep it scrolling. But at least you gave yourself the opportunity, right? You didn't feel yourself being sucked in where you felt like you didn't have a choice. At least you stopped for a second and allowed yourself to choose. Jashawn, I go straight outside and touch some grass. Nature, baby. Nature, the groundedness of nature, right? Jason, put on some noise canceling headphones. Cheers to that. Cheers to noise canceling headphones. Cheers to silence. Anais, first I become aware with that. Alone, my body guides me. With breath, stretch, close my eyes, and implement positive self-talk. Beautiful, Anais. Beautiful. All of that. Stepping out of the mind, into the body. Mind-body connection. Mind-body awareness. I am Shibi. The moment I feel overstimulation coming on, I just take a step back and breathe. The feeling never stays around long. It's becoming quite beautiful to flow, flow, flow. Cheers to that. All it takes is one conscious breath. All it takes is awareness enough to just notice. Becoming aware of the body, stepping out of all that activity in the mind, right? Once again, it's not hard. None of this is difficult. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to remind you that none of this is hard. Being you is not hard. This is you. Your natural state is peace. Your natural state is calm. Your natural state is awareness. This isn't difficult. It's only the mind that says it's difficult, but it doesn't matter what the mind says. It doesn't matter what those thoughts say. When you are aware enough, those thoughts might be there, but they're just in the background. It really doesn't matter ultimately. I find that positive self-talk, for example, once again, they're also great pointers. At the very least, all right, they'll relax us. They relax us into the moment compared to negative self-talk, right? There's that quote, and it says, within the positive is the unmanifested negative, right? Ultimately, it's saying how certain beliefs and certain thoughts, it also includes the manifestation of its opposite, right? Kind of like the good and the bad, the light and the dark, conscious, unconscious, just those dual aspects of life. And it's just a beautiful reminder to be aware. Of course, speak to yourself in love, in positivity, in heart-centeredness. That's the vibe here on Here Now Live, or at the very least is what I encourage. And simultaneously remind yourself to just notice the bliss, notice the peace, all right? Notice the peace, notice the bliss, right? You don't have to just stop for a second to only notice, right, the overstimulation or those negative feelings, right? Because we might end up attaching the idea that stillness is only tied to when we're feeling overwhelming feelings. No, do it when you're feeling at peace. Do it when you're feeling at joy, like truly taking in the moment, and you'll see you'll fully recognize, this is what it means. Awareness is the background. I actually don't have to try, right? You are the flow. Flow, flow, flow. And I find that so much of our conversation, once again, is just continuing to accumulate. We talk about flow, releasing shame, releasing guilt, allowing ourselves to be in the moment, one foot in front of the other. And we keep it moving. I have a list here too, so I find to self-awareness, right? Awareness is everything, y'all. Self-awareness, awareness is everything. It's important for us to also be aware of what arises as a manifestation of being overstimulated. Sometimes we don't know we're overstimulated. And often it'll manifest as feeling stressed or anxious. And we didn't know that stress or feeling of anxiety was actually stemmed from overstimulation, receiving too much information, believing too many thoughts, believing the first thought that comes to mind, and then trying to hold on and understand every thought that arises. What that actually brings me to is that the first thought that arises, right? I just lost. I just lost what I was going to say. Overstimulation can cause if you find yourself feeling tense, it might be a sign that you're overstimulated. All right, I forgot what I was going to say, but I'll come back to it. So feeling stress, that is one. That's a sign. Like, wow, I didn't know. Like, even today, I was like, recognizing, I didn't realize that that's overstimulation. But now that I know, it's easy to just, when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you just choose to be. And you recognize the flow. You recognize, okay, in this very moment, I could just make a different choice because I'm aware enough. I'm not on autopilot. I'm aware enough to say, this is what I used to do, but this is what I'm doing now. This is just what I'm doing now, and that's it, right? Feeling irritable or agitated, that's another one. If you're snapping at people, you're frustrated, those happen. That's another sign of being overstimulated. Another sign to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a step back. I'm not even going to respond right now. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to touch some grass. Let me go get those noise canceling headphones, right? And you just allow that to be, right? Once again, you feeling anxious? Great. Be okay with it. You feeling stressed? Cool. Be okay with it. You feeling irritated? You feeling agitated? Cool. Be okay with it. No shame there. We're humans. We're going to feel different things. See, that's flow. That's flow. That is flow. When those emotions are arising, and you're just allowing them to be. You're allowing them to come and go. It's not a matter of, I don't need to feel it. I'm going to try to avoid suffering, things like that. Not necessarily. You're suffering? Great. It's a great opportunity to become aware and invite in presence. Difficulty focusing is another sign of overstimulation. What? I've recognized that, especially through Here Now Live and in setting day-to-day intentions, awareness, noticing, when it comes to focus is so enjoyable to focus. And it's very common, right, in this generation for so many to say, oh, I can't focus, you know. It happens. Oh, I can't focus, this and that. I want to share with y'all, focusing is enjoyable. The mind may say, oh, this is boring. I need something else. I need something else. That is the exact thought, idea, and energy that's causing the unnecessary suffering, right? We talk about boredom. When I think of boredom, I think the need to escape space. This need to escape space. Because if you weren't trying to escape the space, the nothingness, then you'd be your being, fully, wholly. Boredom. Overstimulation can make it difficult to concentrate or focus. You may find yourself easily distracted or having trouble completing tasks. When you choose to do nothing consciously often, like choosing to do nothing consciously often, you will find that your focus, your concentration, you'll find it expanding with ease. You'll find yourself stepping into that continuous flow of being in the moment with ease. This brings up and it comes to mind, like, once again, this idea that it's difficult to concentrate. It's the idea that it's difficult to concentrate that makes it difficult to concentrate. Right? The world that we live, it's all a mirror of what we think, what we give energy to. It's all a mirror of what we claim ourselves to be. If you choose to say, my intention is to focus more, to concentrate, you do it because it's your intention. If you're not doing it, it may not be your primary intention in the moment. There's no shame there. Just a recognition that if it's not happening at the moment, then ask yourself, what is your actual priority? What continues to come up? What, things like that. There is so much joy in concentrating and focus. That is flow, and there's joy in that. And it's that recognition. You recognize that joy when you are fully aware of what you're doing and you continue to stay aware of it. You witness your own transformation. You witness flow, right? Once again, meditation is not difficult. Concentration is not difficult. Focus is not difficult. Stillness, none of that is difficult. The mind might say so, but that is the culprit of the reason why it's difficult. All right. Once again, that is the culprit. You live the life you want to live. You're never stuck, never helpless, right? You are the flow. That's a bar. You are the flow. You are life. All right. Cheers to that. I am Shibi. Step out of the mind and in to presence. Out of the mind into presence. We're right here. Peace, love, wholeness. Christian Martinez, breath work, working out and smoking. But I now only use when it's from an inspired place to feel love and appreciation. Thank you for sharing, Christian. You're definitely sharing, and once again, you're showing us the importance of being intentional. It's not always about what we do, it's how we do it. You're smoking a little of your favorite herb. You're giving an awareness, you connecting to the consciousness of it. Because once you take it in, once you merge with that plant medicine, it's going to show you some things. Be ready to receive it. It's all love. And when you come, you approach it from an inspired place, whatever you intend to receive, without a doubt, it's yours. Without a doubt. Much love. Sinos. Queen, where are you going? Sinos, prioritize times for stillness and action. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Prioritize that, right? We're Here Now Live. We're chatting about stillness. But we never forget about those moments of engagement, right? We're encouraging, in this space, we encourage the stillness because there's too much action, hence overstimulation. It's having that balance. If we're prioritizing time for action all day, every day, why not prioritize time for stillness so we have a healthy balance? So we can truly understand ourselves as a whole, therefore understanding others as a whole, the world around us as a whole. Right? Cheers to that, Sinos. And just to complete off the list, right? Once again, I was chatting about all the different ways where we can tell if we're overstimulated, all right? And feeling anxious or stressed, irritable or agitated, difficulty focusing, feeling tired or fatigued, take a nap. Naps are good. You feel tired or fatigued, honor your body. Take a nap. Take a nap. Headaches or migraines, especially lots of bright lights, loud noises, that would be a sign. Insomnia or trouble sleeping, increased heart rate or breathing, right? Cheers to that. Be aware of that. Look out for yourself. Take care of yourself, right? If this is manifesting in your day-to-day, all right, good, great. And I'm saying this not to encourage it to happen, but as a matter of accepting it. So instead of saying good, I'll say this: thank it. Thank it. You know what? Thank the increased heart rate and increased breathing. Thank the insomnia and the trouble sleeping. Thank the fatigue. Thank the lack of focus. Thank the agitation, the irritability. You all see the pattern here? Thank it. Say thank you. The reason why we attach to this and we feel like it's so difficult to transcend is because our immediate meeting with it, our first meeting with it, initial meeting, is resistance. A trigger arises and we're like, no, it's a trigger. I don't want to be triggered. Just think it, right? It's easier that way. No war within. Your body is warning you, right? It's working with us. It's working with us to ensure equilibrium, right? Homeostasis within the body. So if we're feeling these things, it's because it's a sign for us to make a change, right? There's three things we can do. We can, how do we say? We can do nothing, right? We can make a change. And there's something else. I forgot the other one. But we'll stick with, we can do something, we can do nothing, or we can make a change. Something like that, right? Just know that we always have an option. When I talk about flow, I recognize flow. When we're flowing, there exists little to no resistance. You really feel that flow. It's like a surfer surfing a wave. There's an engagement and relaxation. There's that flow. And often, within flow, when you're aware enough, you recognize, these are just a series of decisions being made, a series of space and decisions, relaxation and engagement, stillness and in action. When we begin to honor both and flow with both, we create our own relationship with it. And we're not running away from overstimulation. We're not feeling bad about it, right? I've come to see, as the more I share and the more I come here in this space, I'd like to continuously remind you all to honor the human experience as a whole. Honor your current state of consciousness, all right? There's no need to try and reach a certain state of enlightenment. There's no need to try and escape the thought. Does that make sense, y'all? It's all a matter of being. Don't make yourself, the more shame or guilt we add, the more, oh no, oh man, it's supposed to be like this or that. Oh man, I need to do more this and that. I need to do this and that. It adds just more mental. It's all about relaxing into the moment. It's all about letting go right here, right now. It doesn't matter your life situation. It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm telling y'all. Life right here in the now. It's your choice of how you want to choose to live in this moment. Peace and love to the chat. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. And we did share. So just to close out, we chatted about what overstimulation, when that arises in our lives, what we do, what it looks like when it arises. And I want to close it out by sharing just a couple of things to do. And we did share some, right? So physical exercise, right? For me, I shared yoga. Today I took 2 classes today. I did Pilates and Bikram yoga. I felt so grateful for getting up to go this morning. And I continue to do it, right? So when I say this, I had been noticing a lot of overstimulation within the mind. And I'm like, whoa, I woke up, I'm like, whoa, okay, just keep going. This is happening. It is what it is. I'm here. I choose presence. Go work out. After the workout, I'm feeling so grateful. Even during the workout, I was in the second class. I was in Bikram, just finished Pilates, right? Pilates 45 minutes. Bikram was a 90-minute class. I take hot yoga, so it was in a hot yoga studio. Physical exercise, that grounded me. Created enough space away from the old thoughts, away from thought in general. Just for me to see a higher perspective. We're not villainizing thought. Once again, nothing's bad. It's once again a matter of, now I see it in a expanded perspective, right? Exercise can be a great way to release tension and stress, boost mood, and promote relaxation. I can share with y'all that boosted my mood for sure. I felt an incredible mood boost, and it's yoga, so the whole intent of yoga is mind-body awareness. So it's great because you even have your instructor there to remind you, breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Bring your awareness to your body and the pose and the energy, right? If you don't have a physical exercise that you do often, at least weekly, I encourage you to do so. I highly encourage that. It's a game changer. Find something you love to do. You love to do it. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, I got to go do this because I need to be healthy. Like, no. Like, find something you fully enjoy, and there's something out there, and guarantee you'll find yourself less overstimulated. You're taking away space. And you're allowing yourself to be in a space where you are fully there in the moment. And even with physical exercise, you can choose something where you're building a practice or you're building a skill set, right? Ultimately you're getting better at it, right? Whether it's yoga, you're becoming more flexible, more awareness of body movement, chi, different aspects. Hey, maybe you like playing a certain sport. You can choose that and choose to master that, right? It allows you to stay focused. Talk about focus and concentration. You stay focused, you're doing what you love, you're releasing stress and tension, and you're doing it often. I encourage you to challenge your body, right? When I do yoga, I take yoga that has more yin energy and yoga that has more yang. So some yoga is more active, very active, like today, and others are more yin. where it's slower, where you can really feel the movement of body, of chi moving through your body. You can feel your energy, and you're holding certain poses. I wouldn't say a pose, but you're on the floor and you're stretching and you're holding it for a longer amount of time. Mix it with more challenging and more relaxing, right? And that balance, it creates a mind-body awareness. So when when something is arising, you can feel it within, right? We are truly our own best doctors. And I know myself, I am continuing to dive into the awareness of that. And I could share with you all that through giving more awareness to my body, to its needs, whatever arises, it doesn't matter. It could be something with my skin or with my leg or with my feet. It doesn't matter. When I give my fullest awareness to it, you are expanding your mind-body connection. So when something's a little off balance within, you recognize it. You know what's happening, right? Physical exercise. Cheers to that. The Uber Grape, welcome to the chat. Did I miss anyone? Vent with Duck, welcome to the chat. Exercise clears my mind. Yes, it does. I am Shibi. Gardening and bike riding are my two faves. Cheers to that. Getting in touch with the earth, growing our own food, self-sustainability, and bike riding. That's so much fun. Thank you for sharing. DuckDuckGo, thank you for this. Much love to you. Christian Martinez. What are some empowering affirmations you have in mind when it comes to embracing fear itself? I would say when it comes to just fear in general, fear is an illusion. Walk straight ahead. It'll point your mind to, at the very least, choose another thought, choose another perspective, right? Ultimately, fear lives within the mind. And when we choose to simply notice, we're stepping outside of the mind and we're recognizing the illusion. We're recognizing the idea or story that is not true. It's an idea that we made up, right? It's not actually happening right now. Unless there is an aspect of danger that's happening now in the moment, fear may arise or it may not, right? Danger is real, fear is not. Now, fear can be a manifestation in the face of danger. And I would say, ultimately, I'm not going to know every experience, but all I could say is when you are inviting in presence each and every day of your life, you are shifting your relationship with fear. It's truly in those moments where you're there and you're grounded and you're like, here's what I'm going to do. Once again, it's a series of decisions that happens, right? So, yep, cheers to that. DuckDuckGo, I love realizing my thoughts aren't what I thought they were. Cheers to that. What a joy. What a joy it is to know that I am beyond the busy mind. What a joy it is to know that I am not my thoughts. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Cheers, the Over Grape. Cheers, Just Sean. All right. Physical exercise, relaxation techniques. We talk about it here, y'all. Deep breathing, taking a breath, going outside with nature, time in nature, rest and relaxation, and self-care routines. All of these, right? For the majority of us here have been here now live, if not all of us, right? Do we see the commonality amongst every topic, basically? I love diving into different topics, of course. But what allows me to feel, what I feel so grounded with is that ultimately it comes back to doing the same thing. And ultimately, I would say, it always comes back to a present moment awareness. And I do feel that the lives allow us to understand ourselves more, understand the mind more, understand fear more, right? Understand why we feel a certain way when we're overstimulated. So that allows that acceptance. So it allows us to relax more into the present moment, right? Sometimes if we're unaware of what we're chatting about here, and you may just hear, oh, be present, just notice there might become too much attachment within the mind, because the mind ultimately doesn't have enough reason to relax. And when I say that, I just notice it in observation, where it's like, once again, it has to do with choosing that positivity in the way you speak to yourself. I would say specifically gratitude, that allows us to relax into the moment a lot more. Cheers to the chat. Cheers to everyone on here. Thank you for being here, for contributing and being a part of the conversation. Everything you share, you contribute to the conversation, and you also help someone else out. You become an inspiration for someone else, because you're sharing what you're doing and how you're being in your day-to-day, expanding our awareness and knowing that we need to prioritize self-awareness. We need to prioritize self-awareness, our present moment awareness, So much love to you all. I'm here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going strong, YouTube. This is the homeland. We're going strong. Here Now Live 34. I'll be on Instagram this Tuesday for Here Now Live number 9, I think. And I'll be on TikTok. I'll be on TikTok this Thursday for Here Now Live number 9. So much love. So grateful for this stabilizing, grounding space, and for each of you who show up every week. And for Queenie Bean. I am Shibi. One of my favorite sayings is, you as consciousness is trying to get consciousness to realize itself as consciousness. So profound. That quote was what I was trying to say like a couple lives ago, and I could not remember it, and you came with it. I appreciate that quote. You as consciousness is trying to get consciousness to realize itself as consciousness, right? That's the thing. We already are. And it's all about the relaxation. And when we realize and remember who we are, we enjoy this place in this world of form. We experience spiritual wealth. We experience material wealth, right? We experience the life we want to live. The adventures we want to go on, the people we want to meet, the community we want to create. Life is all a mirror of what we choose ourselves, what we claim ourselves to be. And we continuously remind ourselves of that. We stay in flow. And staying in flow is literally accepting the moment as it is, no matter what arises, no matter the trigger, no matter the reaction. Moment to moment awareness. Moment to moment awareness. All right. I appreciate y'all. Seriously. And I have a question. Serious question. What are you feeling grateful for today? What are you feeling grateful for today? Personally, in this moment, I'm feeling grateful for little Queenie on my lap. See how long she stays here. I'm gonna take it all in her little purring. I'm grateful to be here now live number 34. I'm grateful to facilitate an amazing space. Gratitude for presence, for being here now. Gratitude for these incense sticks. Plant-based incense, check it out. The link is in the description. Today we're going to use dragon's blood. It's one of my favorite scents. Let me know what you're grateful for. I most definitely will. I feel like I heard that from one of my One of my favorite teachers. There's so many different ways of saying that. I love it though. Definitely love it. The Uva Grape, mind-blowing quote from Shibi. My brain hurts. Brain's trying to understand consciousness, realizing itself as consciousness. How does that work? I don't understand. Jason, hey, there we go. Grateful for overstimulation. No war within. We're appreciating it all, y'all. We're appreciating everything. Thank you, Overstimulation, for showing us, I would say, the spectrum of what manifests within the mind. Gratitude for recognizing overstimulation and recognizing no thought. Relaxation. That's the opposite, right? No thought. Just straight clarity. Gratitude for that experience. We talk about duality, right? This is in those moments where comparison is, I would say, working for us, right? Comparison doesn't always have to be one of those distracting factors of life, but it could work for us, where we sit there and we act as though we're our own scientists. We're in observation of the mind and the mind activity, and we see, oh, wow, feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot going on, awareness. And then you begin to recognize how much you recognize stillness, and you see the difference. There's gratitude for that, right? It also reminds me of, I don't know if anyone has ever done an exercise here where you're asked to tense up and then relax. Tense up and then relax. And what it does is it helps you be present with the fullness of both experiences. So you know when you actually are aware when you're tense, and you know what relaxation feels like, right? Sometimes we don't know we're tense. Sometimes we don't know we're feeling anxious. We're not aware we're overstimulated. So by giving gratitude to it, we can recognize it more, approach it, instead of resisting it and avoiding it. The Uva Grape, I am grateful for my health. Cheers. Cheers to health, mental health, emotional health, physical health. Cheers to health, a healthy body, our ability to use and our body, mobilize it, get from point A to point B. Our choice to observe the mind and take care of the mind, to honor our emotions, allowing them to arise no matter what they may be, honor those triggers. Gratitude for health and awareness. Much love to that. Duck, duck, go. Gratitude for the present moment, or time even, the sunset, the air. Cheers. Cheers to the elements, this very moment. Cheers to time. Cheers to it all. Just say gratitude. We're becoming one with all life. Gratitude, gratitude. It's so interesting. I see that when we are stating gratitude for the moment, it makes me recognize what things tend to be. I use the word villainize a lot because that's what I see. That's the best way I could say it. Like sometimes like the word time, it gets a bit, villainized, it's like, even like telling time and things like that. Like, oh, right now for me it's 8:37, but it is what it is. What I'm explaining is that when we choose gratitude, we see a whole perspective, a full perspective, and we begin to see just how a certain judgment or critique actually fragmented the moment. And so when we state gratitude, we recognize the fragments and then we honor the whole. Christian Martinez, I'm grateful that everyone here is being open to feeling grateful right now. Cheers to the space of coming together. Cheers to sharing your most vulnerable moments, to your most, I would say, your highest moments, your moments where you felt most proud, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just cheers to that. Cheers to expressing yourself, allowing yourself to be here in this moment, allowing yourself to show up as you are. You don't need to get better. Show up. Show up as you are. You'll be surprised at how welcome you are. Maybe you won't be. Either way. Show up. Wholly. Fully. The uva grape. I am grateful for glasses so I could see. Much love to glasses. Much love to optical correction. I think that makes sense. Cheers to that. I am Shivi, grateful for Here Now Live 34. Much love to the space. Much love to the space. Peace, love, wholeness for this space. It's a powerful space. It's a conscious space. The foundation of this space is so strong. So grounded. We're here every week. Aware. Here-ness, now-ness, wholeness. I am Shibi. Gratitude for being single, stung on my foot by a bee. I release the pain. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. You're not, duck, duck, go. You're not running out of time. You're really running in. You're not running out of time. You're running in. Ooh. You're running in time. There we go. You see how those perspectives, we talk about how the world is a mirror of the way we see it. It's simply when we change our language, now we see it differently. We're not running out of time, we're running in time. Choose to fully be aware of the fact that you are running in time. The time is now. Right? When we think about the idea of running out of time, it's just like, it makes us feel hopeless. Like, what am I going to do? The time has run out. I can't get it back. But then you shift your awareness to, all right, well, the time is now. And I'm going to do what I have to do. And be here fully in the moment. Relax. Enjoy. This is life. It's a lot more simple than we think it, than the mind makes it out to be. Cheers to the chat, to the consciousness, to the high vibrational quotes in here, the enlightening quotes, all of these pointers to the present moment. That's why we're here. That's why we came together. Cheers to y'all. If you'd like to join me in this Here Now Live ritual, grab a Palo Santo, grab a sage, perhaps an incense. You could take a sip of tea or just simply breathe with me. Here we go. Cheers. Cheers to gratitude. Let's take a moment of stillness. It's when you're still you notice how much you needed that stillness. Truthfully. Often when we're in this zone of a lot of action and not enough stillness, you don't recognize how much you need to be still and relax. That's what I realized. I needed a bit more space. Kind of becoming aware of the brain's activity of me talking. Like, oh yeah, I've been talking a lot. So of course I need a little bit of stillness. It's a reminder to continuously invite. Honor yourself. Honor space. Queenie knows what stillness is. She sure does. Look at her. You comfy, baby? Is my baby comfy? Cats are pets, man. They're such joys. I would say cats are definitely great examples of stillness, relaxation. Yeah. Chill. It's like, I'm just gonna find this corner and sleep here. Our pets are always bringing us in the present moment because they're present. They're present. Alrighty. As always, should I do Dao De Jing today? You know what? I'd like to do Eckhart today. Let's do Eckhart. Boom. Boom, bang, boom. Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle, Oneness with All Life. Lately, I've been switching between these two books. It's been, I love them so much. So, as always, I shall flip to a page in this here book and share it with y'all. Often it expands on everything we spoke about. It's awesome. I live in awe and bewilderment at the workings of the universe each and every day. And if you're interested in this book, check out the inspirational book list in the link in my description. Check it out. Alrighty. What does the Here Now Live community need to hear today? What does the Here Now Live community need to hear today? Okay. Page 34, this book right here. Oh, this is a... okay. I'm actually going to read the first page because it will be helpful to read the page that I flipped to. And it's so awesome because I spoke a little bit about this. All right. So page 33 and 34. Alrighty. So your primary purpose is to enable consciousness to flow into what you do. The secondary purpose is whatever you want to achieve through the doing. I'm going to repeat that, okay? Your primary purpose is to enable consciousness to flow into what you do. The secondary purpose is whatever you want to achieve through the doing. Whereas the notion of purpose before was always associated with future, there is now a deeper purpose that can only be found in the present through the denial of time. Second page. This is the page that I flipped to. Here we go. Your secondary purpose or outer purpose lies within the dimension of time, while your main purpose is inseparable from the now and therefore requires the negation of time. I just have to say, there's more here. We spoke about this. That recognition of the two dimensions of self. We can also say outer purpose, inner purpose, or primary purpose, secondary purpose. Where time in the secondary purpose, right? Time is, I would say, the recognition of time is necessary in our secondary purpose. But in our primary purpose, it's not necessary. It's actually beyond time. This is where we begin. We're balanced. We're not leaning towards one more than the other, but we're honoring the wholeness of what is, right? Your secondary or outer purpose lies within the dimension of time, while your main purpose is inseparable from the now and therefore requires the negation of time. How are they reconciled? By realizing that your entire life journey ultimately consists of the step you are taking at this moment. There is always only this one step, and you give it your fullest attention. This doesn't mean you don't know where you're going. It just means the step is primary. The destination is secondary. And when you encounter at your destination, and what you encounter at your destination once you get there depends on the quality of this one step. Another way of putting it, what the future holds for you depends on your state of consciousness now. I have nothing more to share. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Here Now Livestream. Shout out to the Here Now Livestream community. Whether it's anyone's first time, whether you're returning, whether you're a Here Now nomad, I appreciate you. I see you. And know that you have purpose just for being here. Once again, my name is Morcie. If you didn't know, my name is Morcie. I'm a coach, a teacher, consultant, mentor, guide, all here to remind you of this very moment, the present moment, wholeness. To remind you of the simplicity of this moment, the miracle of this moment, and the groundedness of this moment. A reminder of who you are. I'm here every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be on Instagram every Tuesday and TikTok every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you to all that attend. Thank you to all who follow and move around with me from platform to platform. The conversations are always filled with everything we need here, right? The stimulation we need, not the overstimulation necessarily, unless you find it too much. But having that healthy balance of having a stimulating conversation and stepping into stillness. I am Shibi reminds me of the quote, "Everywhere you go, there you are." Cheers to that. All right. Today we spoke about overstimulation. Is overstimulation keeping you from feeling true joy and fulfillment? We had a great conversation, enlightening conversation, or at least I shared a bit and read your comments in the chat. And we'll take this moment to slide on into the live guided meditation. This meditation is my intention for this meditation is for us to shift our awareness around overstimulation. Choose to be more aware of it, accepting of it, so that we may consciously experience this moment in wholeness and in free in being, okay? Ultimately, the live is going to encompass what we talked about. Kind of settle it in, settle it in. I invite you to join me in this live guided meditation on dissolving the overstimulation, being here now, fully in the moment. Get in a comfortable position. You can sit upright like myself. You can lie down, preferably a position that allows you to be alert, yet comfortable. Alert and aware and comfortable. So you are above thought, aware of thought. Take this moment to recognize any tension within the body and release that tension. Relax your eyebrows, your jaw, your face, your neck. Relax your shoulders, your limbs. Physically prepare yourself to be in a space, in a position that honors this practice. Take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take this moment to simply be here, noticing the natural inhalation and exhalation of your breath. I encourage you to be as still as possible and relaxed as you can be. stillness, silence, spaciousness. The antidote for overstimulation. Overstimulation manifests when we give too much attention to what is happening, too much attention to a crowd, to noise, too much attention to information. And the best way to relieve and dissolve the overwhelm is through being aware enough. Aware enough to choose stillness, silence, and spaciousness. Throughout this guided meditation, I encourage you to bring your awareness to what is not happening. So when you recognize the gaps of space between sentences, between words, ideas, choose to give your fullest awareness to that space. Give your fullest awareness to what is not happening. This practice will relieve and dissolve overstimulation when it arises. It gives you enough space to be conscious and discerning. Take this very moment to be fully aware of stillness. Take this moment to be as still as you can be and notice. Simply notice. Take this moment to acknowledge the silence that surrounds you. Recognize and simply notice. If there is no silence around, simply bring your awareness to the gaps of silence that arises amongst the noise. Take this moment to bring your fullest awareness to space. Simply notice the gaps of space that arise in the mind. Sure, thoughts come and go, and within thought, within that voice, there is space. Honor space in any way that you feel connected to it. Recognize it and notice. Simply notice. Take one conscious breath in. Hold. One conscious breath out. Exhale. Scan your entire body from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Acknowledge the life that you are. Acknowledge being. Acknowledge stillness. Acknowledge silence and space. Notice any tension and release it. And continue to notice the life that you are. Thank yourself for this practice. Thank yourself for recognizing stillness, silence, and spaciousness. Thank yourself for choosing to understand overstimulation and how it relates to you. Thank yourself for choosing presence. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Open your eyes and be here. Once again, everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me in that guided meditation. It was quite nice. Definitely felt the stillness there. Join me next week for Here Now Live number 34. And continue to stay active on this channel and page. Gratitude for you all for engaging in the content. And I'm so grateful that you all you resonate with the messages that I share on this page. Sure. So be sure to continue to stay engaged. If you are not on my email list, definitely hop onto that. Sign up for that free guided meditation and you'll be on that email list, and it's in there that I'll share any upcoming webinars, services, and courses that I will be sharing with you all. So be sure to hop onto that guided meditation. My name is Morcie. I'm sending you all love. I'm sending you all peace. I'm sending you all wholeness and continued presence. Live in a state of gratitude. Peace and love to the chat. Peace and love, Jason. Peace, love, here-ness, now-ness, everyone. Peace and love to everyone here. And until next time.